All right, good morning, guys. Time now is 7:05. As promised, we are going live on the 10 News app on YouTube, on our multiple streaming platforms as well. Weather Authority alert days in effect today, and we're going to talk about why exactly that's the case. Strong cold front is going to be moving toward us heading into the afternoon and heading into the evening. So we'll lay out kind of the timing of all that, the impacts, things like that. But we're going to wait until this notification comes out on the app. And let's see here, gonna load up our live stream and see if we are good to go. I believe we are. So, all right, let's go ahead and show you guys what's going on so far this morning. And we start out with just a little bit of rain. We'll zoom into some of the areas seeing that, especially Lynchburg and Southside. Maybe a few heavier pockets in Charlotte County, moving into APPCAST County, areas like Buckingham County as well. That again is well out ahead of this cold front that we're tracking, not expecting anything severe with that. But we can show you the last hour of the radar loop here in West Virginia and Bath and Highland counties. And yeah, you see a few isolated showers moving in ahead of the main line. And that main line moves through this afternoon, and that is going to bring with it some heavy rain, maybe some lightning and thunder in a few spots, and eventually cold air and gusty wind as well. So let's see, just turning on our notifications here so I can keep an eye on the live stream and if there's any questions from you guys this morning. So there's that front farther to the west, and you see that squall line really just honking out ahead of it. The reason for this line is you've got a huge temperature differential. You've got temps in the 20s in St. Louis. Meanwhile, Nashville is at like 70 degrees already this morning. So incredible difference in temperatures, and that's what's helping to drive this line out ahead of the cold front. There is a tornado watch. Let's go ahead and plot that for you guys and maybe make it look a little cleaner for you as well. So you can see that in parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, and West Virginia. Not expecting a tornado watch to be issued here. We lose a little bit of instability or thunderstorm fuel as that line moves from west to east, but nonetheless, this is a pretty nasty line of showers and storms that we're going to be tracking, and that mostly moves into our area after about noon through the afternoon. So here we go. Alert day impacts, heavy rain, gusty wind within the line. The wind is actually going to get a little stronger after that line of showers and storms moves from west to east. As far as snow is concerned, there might be a little bit on the western slopes on the very back edge of this line of showers and storms, but it's really not going to be anything to write home about. Most of us aren't going to see that. So here's Future Tracker showing the overall progression of that line. It looks like it's doing pretty good. Might be a little bit too far to the west, but we'll kind of make some adjustments to that. That's why I've been saying between about 12 and 5 is when we see that line coming through. So here's 12 p.m. and Future Tracker shows the line right on the West Virginia border. I could see it being a little bit farther east than that, just given recent radar trends and how the model is trending with that. So that's a general look at 12 p.m. As we get closer to about 2 this afternoon, you'll see that line right about there in the New River Valley, the Highlands, potentially starting to sneak into parts of the Roanoke Valley as well. And generally what happens is as these lines cross over the Blue Ridge Parkway, you see a little bit of intensification, and you can see that in some sense between about 3:30 and 5 o'clock this afternoon. Again, there you see that little bit of snow on the western slopes. That's why I'm not making a big deal out of it. Most of you aren't going to see that. But here we go toward about 6 p.m. and the line's out of here, right? So that is kind of the first part of this cold front, and I'll draw that out for you guys. So what you get behind it is cold air and gusty wind, whereas out ahead of it, you get the warmth. And I'm going to show you kind of a depiction of how temperatures are going to change right about now. So around lunchtime today, this is out ahead of that main line. Temperatures will be about 60 to 65 degrees. I think we briefly get into the mid to upper 60s this afternoon prior to the arrival of that line of showers and storms. By 5 or 6 p.m., Notice areas like Wytheville that were at 61, you're now in the mid-30s. Blacksburg at about 60 to 65, upper 30s and lower 40s. Roanoke in the mid-60s, you're in the mid-40s by 5 or 6 p.m. So if you've yet to leave for school or work, you may not need the jacket this morning. You may not need it for the lunch break, but by the evening commute, some of you are going to. It's kind of a topsy-turvy kind of day for you where you usually see the high temperature at 4 or 5 p.m. It's probably going to happen before that just because of that line of rain and storms. It'll be breezy out ahead of it. And that breeze kind of brings in the warmer air. So let's see if I can, let's go ahead right here. This is going to be our warm period today. And then beyond that, you see how the wind shifts, comes in out of the west and northwest. It's going to bring in some colder air. That's going to be our punch of colder air. And I do think after the line passes through, that's when you see your stronger gusts, your 30 to potentially as strong as 50 mile per hour wind gusts. That'll be this evening. So there is a wind advisory that is in effect for these areas shaded in beige, and it says 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. I do think the wind is going to be stronger late afternoon into the evening, but that's for the New River Valley, that's for the Roanoke Valley, that's for the Highlands, for areas just north of Lynchburg. Wind gusts in Lynchburg and south side behind the line, probably 20 to 35 miles per hour. So what this does is it kind of plays in tandem with the recent shot or the new shot of cold air that's coming in. So again, this morning, heading out to school, heading out to work, temps are in the 50s and 60s. By tomorrow morning, wind chills are going to be in the teens and in the 20s. It's going to be a big difference. There are areas, I want to say it was Wisconsin, one of the northern states that went from like 70s for highs to snow within less than like 12 or 18 hours. So this cold front's strong. For us, we're not going to, again, see snow or anything like that, but we do see a pretty decent drop in temperatures. So we'll stay pretty chilly tomorrow with sunshine. Friday, more clouds, and a little bit of moisture overruns that layer of cold air at the surface. Friday, this known as the wedge or cold air damming. And so that gives us a better shot of rain late Friday into early Saturday, at which point it'll be kind of raw. Temperatures mostly in the 40s by that time. So weekend plans, yeah, they might be a little limited Saturday morning. I'm not overly concerned. I don't really think that you've got to go canceling plans Saturday. Sunday, however, looks to be the pick day. Warmer, mostly dry, temperatures in the 60s. So this seesaw is going to continue back and forth between spring and winter until we reach some form of consistency. And that's pretty typical in February and in March. You tend to see those kind of swings back and forth. So today's going to be one of them where we see highs in the 60s prior to that line of rain and storms coming through. Colder tomorrow and Friday, rain Friday into Saturday morning. And then beyond that, you see the warm up, especially beyond Saturday. If clouds take their time clearing out, we may only be in the 50s Saturday. It's kind of to be determined at this point, but a high is mostly in the 60s Sunday through at least Tuesday of next week. Let's go back to the radar. I know some of you guys are just tuning in this morning, and again, we've got a few showers just to the south and to the east of Lynchburg right now. None of those are severe, just maybe a little bit of an effect to the morning commute in Campbell, Appomattox, and Charlotte counties. We go farther to the north, and you see a few showers moving into the Highlands as well. Those are pretty hit or miss. So what winds up happening is this sort of paves the way for a line of showers and thunderstorms that you see is producing a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's go ahead and give you the composite image. I'm going to take all this stuff off the map, but what we'll do is show you the number of severe thunderstorm severe thunderstorm warnings, pardon me. And we'll also switch this up a little bit. So, okay, we've got tornado watch in the yellow there. I'm going to move that below so you can see all these warnings that are in effect. Pretty wild. Yeah, in February, you don't usually expect something like this, but yeah, they've got tornado watches in the yellow there. You've got severe thunderstorm warnings due to some of these Boeing segments in the line, like this one heading toward Charleston, West Virginia, and then the main line is farther to the west. So we'll have to watch this one right here that's heading toward Charleston. So that may be moving a little bit quicker than what forecast models have been indicating. Let's go ahead and put that into motion here. It does have a little bit of a southwest to northeast component to it. So I do think still our timeline for our heaviest rain, our gusty wind, maybe some lightning and thunder, it's generally going to be between 1 and 5 p.m. And this is really just kind of one of the reasons for our Weather Authority alert day. It's not like we're going to see widespread severe thunderstorms or anything like that, but there's a lot of changes coming our way within a short amount of time. So that's why we put the alert day in effect. And you can kind of see as we play this slowly toward 2 p.m. or so, the New River Valley, the Highlands, maybe even parts of the Roanoke Valley getting this line of heavy rain. You may even see some shelf clouds out ahead of it. And then beyond that, 3 to 5 p.m., the heaviest rain moving into Lynchburg and Southside. Drier air starts moving out of the north and west, drier and colder air. So this is one of the maps I made yesterday just to kind of show how quickly temperatures will drop. 12 p.m. is on the left. Most of us 60 to 65. 6 p.m. is on the right, and you see a lot of 30s and 40s on the map. So it'll be a quick drop in temps at kind of an atypical time, right? So as you go deeper into the afternoon, your 3, your 4, your 5 p.m., that's when you expect your high temperature of the day. That's not necessarily going to be the case today as that front moves through. And also, if you've yet to leave for the day, if you've got basketball hoops, hanging baskets, trampolines, trash cans that are empty, you might want to weigh those down, bring them in if you have the time to do so, because especially this evening, the wind is going to get pretty strong. Our gusts could range between about 30 and 50 miles per hour. All right, time now 7:17 on this Wednesday. Again, a Weather Authority alert day is in effect because of this cold front. We've got details, fresh video for you on our website, on our weather app as well. That just pushed out at 7 o'clock this morning, and we'll keep you posted every step of the way as we track that line moving in. We're also going to have live updates on the Today Show, one of which is coming up at 7:26. Those will run about every half hour as well. So I'm going to skedaddle, get ready for that live update, and I'll be with you guys on 10 News at noon as that line of rain and storms gets closer to us.